Interesting market. Dow's at 29K, you know. You got Brexit's about to take place, January 31st, 2020. They're kind of going through that to see what's going to happen there. You got the Iran-U.S. conflict, right? You got the trade war with China, that's taking place, and there's some more going on right now with Japan, but they're kind of getting the deal going, right? You got Venezuela still having some issues with Maduro and Guaido with their oil. You got U.S. with politics. It's a very divisive time with mainstream media and Trump and impeachment and all this stuff that's going on. A lot of people see that as a scary time. A market crashes around the corner. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to go through this. How does somebody like you, from your lens, how do you view today's economy and what's taking place?
Well, first of all, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad was because I knew this time was coming. And we have, as a world, have never been here before. And so is it a spooky time? Damn yeah. It is probably the most dangerous time ever. There's nothing to compare it to because there's never been a world economy before. For example, 100 years ago, if there was a stock market crash in England, it didn't affect anybody. But now the U.S. market goes down, the world goes down. So plus with social media and all this we're doing now, and so we've never been here before. And I'm excited about it because I make more money in crashes than I do when they go up. So, but for the average person, they'll get wiped out. I'm afraid at the worst, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression.
Global depression?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Depression. I mean, people are depressed. The economy stays down. It's hard to come back up. And now the good news is that for those who are prepared for it, like you and things like this, you'll do better. See, not everybody dies in a plane crash. Some plane crashes. But the last crash in 2008, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program 6 months before Lehman Brothers went down. And I said Lehman was going down. And nobody listened, but it went down. And so I've been expecting this market to go down for quite a while. And I'm concerned about my fellow human beings. But as you know, most Americans are clueless. They don't know what's going on. But if you travel the world, I just got back from Africa and China and Japan and New Zealand. People are scared. Australia, which hasn't had a recession in 30 years, is in recession. But Americans are fat, dumb, and happy, having a good time, which is good. But I'm concerned. That's all I can say. I'd be afraid if I had kids.
You'd be afraid about having kids today?
If I had kids, no. I think as an adult you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry, and that's what's going to happen.
Do you think it's going to get that bad?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what is the biggest factor that's going to cause that?
Well, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the U.S. dollar. That's my book over there, Fake, which came out last year. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. And the U.S. dollar is fake. Never in the history of the world has any fake money ever survived. And we're doing the same thing. We just keep printing this money. And when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad almost 25 years ago, people said I didn't know what I was talking about. I said savers would be losers. Now, today, there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money. And then you have zero interest rates. And people are still saving money. Are you nuts? They just printed, I think, $500 billion in September of this year because the repo market is going down. And the average guy goes, well, what's the repo market? They don't know. So that's why it's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. Our education system, it has been my rant forever. Why don't we teach people about money? Why is it? We all use money, but we don't teach people about it.
In 2008, the Fed printed $4.5 trillion, and in 2020, the Fed are going to print between 6 and 8 trillion, but maybe even more. And to put it in perspective, there's only 9.5 trillion in gold in the whole world, and so Robert recommends that you buy real gold, silver, and Bitcoin. 1913 is when the Federal Reserve took over the U.S. banking system, and since then the dollar has lost over 96% of its value, and so a dollar back in 1913 would be less than 4 cents today. So, for example, the British pound is the longest running fiat currency. It was originally valued as 1 British pound for 12 ounces of silver. It's now worth less than 1/200th of its original value. So, in other words, the most successful long-standing currency in existence has lost 99.5% of its value.